My name is Vipin Kumar. I am from John Northern Vidyalaya, Pulpit, Yadgir. To the previous part, we have seen the electric pressure, electric potential, and potential difference. Now we will see what is Ohm's law, its applications, and how does it works. Okay. By starting with the Ohm's law statement, it states that the potential difference across any circuit is directly proportional to the current flowing through any circuit. Okay, what does it state? If it is the voltage means V is potential difference applied is directly proportional to the current. Potential difference applied across any circuit will be directly proportional to the current. It can be understood by using the same analogy by previous one, that is water analogy. You can consider we have one tank and it is having small height difference and is connected. Now if the water is in the tank 1, now the water is in the tank 1, it will be easily flow. Now in second case, if the height is increased like this, if the height is increased as previous one, and the height is increased, so the flow of water will be maximum in previous case of first case. In first case and second case, as the height is increased, the flow of water will be maximum, and in the second case it is maximum more than the in case of first case, because the difference is maximum. Just like we can consider the Ohm's law, as voltage potential difference increases, so the current flowing through it will be also increases. So what will be the statement of Ohm's law? Well, Ohm's law states that potential difference applied across any circuit will be directly proportional to the current flowing through it. Okay. So as we are writing, V is directly proportional to I. To remove the proportionality constant, we have to introduce some constant. We have to introduce some constant. If we are removing the proportionality constant, just consider P is equal to R I. Now here the new term R is introduced, that is called as constant. Another term is also there, that is also called as resistance. It is also called as resistance. And every material having different resistance, means every material or any object must have some different kind of resistance. Like wood must have maximum resistance, plastic must have maximum resistance, and conductor will have the minimum resistance depending upon the material, nature of the material. We will see what is the resistance factor depending upon. Okay, from this we can see V is equal to Ri, and if you want the value of R, you can write R is equal to V by I. R is equal to V by I. So that we can see that it is inversely proportional to the current. If we are removing the voltage, V is inversely proportional to the current. Means inversely proportional to the current means if resistance increases, current will be decreasing. If current is increasing, the resistance will be decreasing. Means if one is increasing, R is increasing, current will be decreasing. This is the inversely proportional constants. Okay, they are inversely proportional. Means if one is increasing, other will be decreasing. Or if resistance is increasing, the current will be decreasing. Okay, so you can see that in Ohm's law we have a statement. In that statement you have seen, if the potential difference is directly proportional to the current, means if voltage increases, current also increases. So V is directly proportional to I. If we are removing the proportionality constant, one new constant is introduced, that is R, that is called as resistance, and the resistance is inversely proportional to the current, means if current increases, resistance will be decreased. Okay, and resistance is measured in ohm. Measured in ohm. Okay, now it is measured in ohm. Ohm is the name of the scientist, as we have derived from the Ohm's law. It is given as the scientist name Ohm. R is equal to R's SI is Ohm. Okay, this is all about the Ohm's law. Okay, you can see from that what is Ohm's law means. It is just the potential difference. As you see the potential difference in the previous part, potential difference means if you are applying a difference between any height. In this case, the flow of the current was from positive to negative, but the actual flow of the electron was negative to positive. For our convenience, it was considered that flow of current is from positive to negative, and it was called as conventional current. And the current which was flowing from due to the flow of electron from negative to positive, it was considered as the electronic current. Okay, by using that same analogy, we just explain what is our Ohm's law. Clear? Till now we have seen the Ohm's law. In that case, we have introduced the one case that is called as resistance. The constant introduced that is called as resistance. Now we will see what is the resistance and the factors depending upon the resistance. Actually, what is resistance and on which factor the resistance are going to depend. Okay. Now, before going to resistance, we can consider the conductor. Okay. The conductor means the conductor is in which the electron will flow very easily. Usually means there will be no opposition to the flow of electrons, so that there will be a smooth flow of electron, and so the current will be flowing. So it is called as the conductor. And another part is the insulator. Another is insulator. Insulator means in which there is no flow of current. There is no flow of current means there is maximum resistance. Maximum resistance, and there is no flow of electron from one point to the another point. There is no flow of current from one point to the another point, and that's why it's called as the insulator. Now, if we are considering the resistance. Resistance is also type of a conductor in which it gives the maximum resistance. In the starting period, we have seen that there is the atoms. From the atoms, the electron will be flowing from valence band to the valence electron will be flowing from valence band to the another bond atom, and due to the flow of electron, there will be the flow of current. So, in case of resistance, if you are considering the figure, you can see that why does the resistance opposes the maximum current, maximum resistance? Rather, what is the how does it oppose the current? We can see if there is an atom. You are considering the wire. Okay. If you are considering the wire, then there must be maximum numbers of atoms. There must be maximum number of atoms. You can see the maximum numbers of atoms will be there. Okay, now the electrons is the electrons flowing from the one atom to another atom. If the from the valence electron, from valence cell, if the electron is jumping out, so it will be coming out, and there will be a collision between the atoms. There will be the collision between the atoms. Okay, there will be collision between the atoms, and due to which the flow of as much the speed of the electron, will be reduced. Speed of the electron will be reduced due to the maximum number of atoms present in the wire. Okay, maximum numbers of atoms present in the wire. So there will be the less flow of electron, and there will be the less current flow. Okay, means the resistance is a type of a conductor which gives maximum opposition to the flow of electron. Maximum opposition means it gives that the maximum number of atoms, there will be collision between the electrons and atoms, and it will reduce the flow of current. As we know that as the electron reduces, the current also reduces. So due to the presence of maximum number of atoms, the flow of electron will be reduced, and that's why resistance offers. Now, what is the extra use? What will be the use of the resistance? And the resistance will be depending upon the nature of the material. Resistance will be depending upon the nature of the material. Okay, different material will have different nature of resistance. You can see metal, maximum metals having the less resistance, there will be easily flow of current. But in the case of wood, plastic, the nature of the material is changing, so there will be no free electrons present in that, and there will be no flow of current. Okay, in that case, resistance will be maximum. The another example you can see that in household purposes. In household purpose means the current which we are receiving from the electricity boards, that is, our in India receives 230 volt and it's having a 50 hertz. Okay, you must remember that the voltage which we are receiving for the household purposes, that is 230 volt and 50 hertz of frequency. Okay, now we can just consider that the equipment, electronic equipment which you are daily using, electronic equipment which you are daily using, that which are that laptop is there, mobile is there, okay, smartphone devices are there, which require less amount of current. Less amount of current means you can consider the mobile, laptops, which require mobile, laptops, so that it will require small amount of current. So we cannot do directly 230 volt to this electronic device. If you are giving it directly to these devices, it will be burnt out. Okay, it will be affected and action will be happening. Okay, to reduce the resistance is increased. If you are introducing a resistance, it will reduce the current, and the current amount of current which is required by the electronic equipment, it will be reached to the mobile side laptops. In this case, if there are lots of equipment which require lots of current. For example, the current instrument will be, electronic equipment will be AC, oven, you can consider fridge or refrigerator, which require maximum number of current. In this case, we are offering a less amount of resistance and it is applied on the electronic equipment. It is applied on electronic equipment. Okay, so by resistance there are lots of uses also to reduce the current, and to also to apply in the electronic equipment which can be used to avoid the burning of that devices. Okay, as a resistance you can see that as the electrons are colliding, you can see as the electrons are colliding, you can see if the electrons are colliding, the heat will be generated, it also will be generated. Okay, you can see in the next part what will be heat affecting of heating effect of the electric current. In this case, what will be the heat produced in that circuit. Okay, now the remaining part, mobiles and laptops, AC, which are used in the which resistors are used to increase or reduce the resistance for the proper functioning of the electronic devices. Okay, now we will see actual factors which are depending upon the resistance. Actual factor which are depending upon the resistance. Okay, now first we will see the length. What will be the effect of length? First we consider the length. First we will consider the length. Now I will draw two cases. Case A, in which I am taking wire, and in second case I am taking the length of wire. Can anyone give an example in which case the resistance will be maximum? In which wire the resistance will be maximum? Case A or case B? Yes, in the B case the resistance will be maximum. Why? You can see as the length increases, the atoms also increases, number of atoms also increases. You can see the atoms are also be increasing. To reach the electron from this part to this part, more resistance is there, more disturbance is there here. You can see more disturbance is there. More disturbance will be there. Okay, in first case you can see the length is less, so then the atoms will also be less. Length is less, the atoms will also be less. So the disturbance in the first case, disturbance will be less, and in the second case the disturbance will be more. The first case disturbance is less, and in second case the disturbance is more. Okay, from this we can see that if the length increases, resistance increases. If the length decreases, resistance decreases. So what will be the relation? The relation will be R is directly proportional to the length. Resistance is directly proportional to the length. Means as length increases, resistance increases. As length decreases, resistance decreases. Okay. The same case. Clear? what is the relation between length and resistance? Resistance increases, sorry, length increases, resistance increases, and resistance decreases, sorry, length decreases, resistance increases. Okay, this is the directly proportional. Okay, एक बढ़ेगा दूसरा भी बढ़ेगा, direct proportional. Okay, so this is the first case, factor depending upon the length. Now we'll say the second case. Now see the second case, that is area of cross section. Area of cross section. In this case also we are considering the two situations. Situation A, in this case I am taking a cross section of one wire, and in this case I am taking the cross section of another wire. Okay, just consider I am just drawing the figure. Okay, not just this amount of large wires not there. It must be there, but I am just drawing for your understanding. Okay, just consider first case. This is cross section area is this much. And in second situation, the area of cross section will be this much. Can you tell what will be the resistance maximum or minimum? You can see that. Yes, that in second case the resistance will be minimum, and in the situation A the resistance will be maximum. You can see if there is the area is less. If the area is less, if the area is less, the area is less, so the flow of electrons which we are coming out, electrons which are coming out will be less, because there will be crowding. You can consider this like this. Electrons are flowing, so the electrons should be, the electrons which are coming out of the wire will be less, because there is really crowding. Here we have electrons will be trying maximum, electrons will be accumulated here, which will try to come out of the for the flow of path. There must be a path for the flow of electron, so it will be some congested area. So in this case the resistance will be maximum. Now you can see if the cross section is maximum, so the electrons will be considered by wire. The electrons can be easily come out from the cross section. Electrons will be coming easily from the cross section. Okay, electrons coming out from the cross section will be maximum. So what we can say? If area of cross section is more, area of cross section will be more, the resistance will be less. If area of cross section is less, resistance is more. So area of cross section is inversely proportional to the resistance. Say R is inversely proportional to the area of cross section. Okay, means if area of cross section increases, resistance decreases, and if area of cross section decreases, resistance increases. Okay, clear? Now area of cross section is we can consider this is just the circular part. So what will be the value of A? Pi R square, or we also can write pi d square by 4. Okay, pi d square by 4. Okay, this is the value of A. For solving the numericals, you must remember that area of cross section A is equal to pi r square or pi d square by 4. Clear? Now, if you are combining, this is our second case. It will also depend upon the nature of the material. The resistance will also depend upon the nature of the material. As I discussed earlier, the conductor will have a less resistance depending upon the material. Wood, plastic, in which the resistance will be maximum. Okay, it will also depend upon the nature of material. The fourth case, third was the nature, and fourth what will be that? It will be temperature. Temperature, so resistance will also be directly proportional to the temperature also. Resistance will also be directly proportional to the temperature. As temperature increases, resistance increases. Means we can also understand by using that atoms. Okay. the structure of atom in the previous class as explained means the electron which are attracted towards the nucleus due to the temperature. We are giving some energy, thermal energy. So in thermal energy, the electron which are connected with the nucleus, it will attain some energy and it will jump out from the orbit. It will be jumping out from the orbit, and there will be the accumulation of electrons. The electrons accumulated, there will be the means there will be some congestion for the flow of electrons. Okay, so as temperature increases, resistance also increases. Okay, this was the fourth case. Okay, now if we combine first case and second case, means length and area of cross section will get a relation, means that is R is directly proportional to L and R is inversely proportional to 1 by T. Okay, if you are combining both the equation, what we can write? We can write R is directly proportional to L by T. Okay, in previous case, to remove the proportional constant, what we can write? R is equal to rho L by T. Okay, now the term, we know the L is the length, A is the area of cross section, R is the resistance. Now the term ohm, that is ohm, that is resistivity, rho. Now the term, new term, that is rho, that is resistivity. You see what is resistivity now? R is called as resistivity. That's called as resistivity. What we can write for resistivity? For the value of resistivity, rho is equal to R A by L. Rho is equal to R A by L. We can write rho is equal to R A by L. So what will be the SI unit of resistivity? We can write what was the SI unit of resistance, ohm, area meter square, and length meter cancel, what we get? Ohm meter. This will be the resistivity, SI unit of resistivity. That rho is called as resistivity and its SI unit is ohm meter. Okay, from this we get, from equation 1 and 2 we get L by A, and we get, if we are removing the proportionality constant, we introduce a constant called rho, that's called as resistivity. Okay, that's called as resistivity, and the resistivity having the value RA by L, by giving the SI unit we get the resistivity is equal to ohm meter. Okay, clear? Now what is the difference between the resistance and resistivity? Is there any link between the resistivity or resistance? Okay, now we have to see what is the relation between resistivity and resistance. Okay, now I will say, I will give you another one of two situations. Just consider a copper wire A and B. Both the wires of wire are made up of copper. Okay, both the wires are made up of copper. Now, can you tell me what will be the relation of the resistance? In this case, resistance will be less, and in this case, resistance will be more. If R is, in first case resistance is less, in second case resistance is more. Okay, now can you tell me what will be the relation between the resistivity in situation A and situation B? In both the situation, the resistivity will be same. Resistivity will be same for the both cases. Resistivity will be same for both the cases. Now how can you define resistivity then? Resistivity is the property of a material. Resistivity is the property of the material which gives the resistance of the material. Okay, we can see both the material is made up of sorry, both the wire is made up of copper, so resistance may be decreasing or increasing according to the length, but resistivity will be same due to the material is same. The material is same means resistivity also be same. Material same means resistivity also be same. Means resistivity is the property of the material which gives the resistance to a material. Okay, means if I am considering that if one is made up of aluminium and one is made up of Cu, in this case resistivity will be same, different for the both cases. And as I am taking Cu copper for both the cases, the resistivity will be same. Resistivity is same for both the cases. Okay. Now, okay, define resistivity is the property of the material which gives the resistance to material. Okay. But resistance will be depending upon the factors length, area of cross section, temperature and nature of the material. But resistivity depend upon the material only. Resistivity depend on only material only. It will depend upon only material. Okay, clear? Now, from that we have some one example, numerical. Already in board, that is a copper wire has diameter, is having a diameter 0.5 millimeter and resistivity 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter. What is the length of the wire? If resistance is 10, okay, now we know the formula. Rho is equal to R, otherwise we can start from R is equal to rho L by A. So we have to find the value of length. So L is equal to what will be length? R A by rho. R A by rho, just shifting here, multiplying R A here and divided by rho. We get L is equal to R A by rho. Now we have to substitute the values only. We have the values of diameter. So what we can write, area of cross section pi d square by 4 and resistance is 10. Resistance is 10. We can write the given resistance is equal to 10 ohms. Resistivity is equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter. What is given on another diameter? Diameter is given as 0.5 millimeter. Okay. From this we can apply resistance is 10 ohm. Area pi d square 3. You can write R is equal to pi d square by 4 rho 3.14 into 0.5 into 0.5 into 10 raised to minus, this consider, okay, to write twice 0.5 to this millimeter, so we can write 0.5 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 10 raised to minus 3 square by 4 into resistivity 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter, and you can substitute all the values, we get the value of the length 10 into 3.14 into 0.5 into 0.5 into 10 raised to minus 6 upon 4 into 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter. If you substitute the value, we get the value of the length. This is the homework for you. You have to find the value of length. Okay, here what is the resistivity? Resistance, Ohm's law. Ohm's law, it is the directly proportional to voltage flowing through the current. Voltage is directly potential difference applied across any circuit is directly proportional to the current. Okay, and after that we introduce the resistance and its factor depend upon the length, area of cross section, nature and temperature. Second case, factors depending on the case, and then from that we have found one resistivity It is the property of the material through which resistance can be determined. Okay, if the material is same, the resistivity will be same, but according to its length and area of cross section, resistance can change, but resistivity will be same. Okay, clear? What is about the resistance and resistivity? Okay, now we see in the previous case we have seen the resistance, resistivity and all things. Now in this case we will see the combination of resistance. Combination of resistance in the most of electronic devices, as I explained earlier, it may require more current or less current. So we have to connect the resistance in series and parallel. While connecting the resistance in series and in parallel, we can see by using the calculations and experiments. Okay, now we in the cases the combination of resistor can be connected in two types. First is series and second is parallel. Okay, series when you can see if the resistors are connected end to end. After one resistance, another resistance connected. After third resistance connected, and series. In one series means in a linear way, resistance is connected. That is called as series connection. Okay, in a circuit, this one circuit, series connection is there. Resistance R1, R2, R3, ammeter and voltmeter as discussed earlier. Ammeter is connected in series and voltmeter is connected in parallel for the proper functioning and to use the correct value of the current and voltage. We are connecting the ammeter in series and voltmeter in the parallel. Okay. Now, if this is connection for the series in which R1, R2 are connected in series and in the linear way. So, when that is connected, positive and negative flow of the current will be positive to negative, but actual flow of the electron will be from negative to positive. Okay. Now, one key is there. This is the circuit diagram for the series connection. Second, parallel. In parallel, it means the resistors are connected in the stacked way. Stacked way means in a shelf way. R1 below R2, below R3 is there. Okay. One voltmeter is connected in parallel and one ammeter is connected in series. Okay. Now this connection is called as parallel connection, in which they are connected one by one above, like a stack manner, R1, R2 and R3, like a stack manner, and the battery is connected and one key is there. Now what is the difference? Why are we using the two types of connection, series and parallel? We have to see one by one. Okay. First we will consider the case of the series resistance. Okay. In series resistance, one point is to remember that in series resistance the current will be same. Current will be same across each resistance. Current will be same across each resistance R1, R2 and R3. Because there is no another path for the flow of the current. There is no other path for the flow of current. Okay, it will be flow from R1, R2 and R3. Means it is having only one way to flow. So current will be same at R1, R2 and R3. Now, as we know that as the resistance increases, current also decreases. But actual amount of the current will be same. Okay, so in this case we will consider the voltage across the point. We can consider point A and point B. The voltage will be different across point A and point B. You can see the resistance is between them. So maximum flow current, the voltage must be applied. Maximum the voltage will be different here and voltage will be different at point B. Voltage will be different at A and voltage will be different at point B. Okay, so to maintain the same current, we have to apply the different potential difference. It will be shown by the voltmeter. So if you find the total resistance, what will be the total resistance in the circuit, we have to use the Ohm's law. Okay, so in this case the resistance the current flowing through I1, I2 and I3. In series, the current will be same. So what we can write in series, current will be same. Current is same or constant. So what we can write then for the current we can write I1 is equal to I2 is equal to I3 is equal to I, because current will be same at each resistance. Okay, clear? Now in second case the voltage will be different. Voltage will be different at every point. So we have to write by using Ohm's law. By using applying Ohm's law, what we can write Ohm's law by Ohm's law. V is equal to I R. For total voltage, what will be total voltage? V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So for each V1 it will be different. So V1 is equal to I1 R1, V2 is equal to I2 R2, and V3 is equal to I3 R3. Okay, if you are applying the voltage V is equal to I, the first equation what we get, equation will be V is equal to I1 R1 plus I2 R2 plus I3 R3. Okay. Now again we are applying the total voltage. For the total voltage, what is the total voltage? What we can write for here? V is equal to, applying the Ohm's law again. So what we can write for the equivalent resistance? V is equal to I R equivalent resistance. Equivalent resistance means total amount of resistance. Total amount of resistance in the circuit. What we can write? V is equal to I1 R1 plus I2 R2 plus I3 R3. Okay. Now in this case we can see that I1, I2 and R3 is same and is equal to I. So what we can write? In the place of I1, I2, R3 we can take that I. So I equivalent resistance equal to I in bracket R1 plus R2 plus R3. This I get cancelled and we will get the resistance as equivalent resistance R1 plus R2 plus R3. Equivalent resistance will be R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay. Now in series case, the resistance will be added. Whatever the resistance is there, it will be added. What will the equivalent resistance? R1, R2 and R3 means the resistance is adding. So the current which we are required, the current flow of the current will be minimum. Okay. The actual current will be means whatever we are applying here, this we are applying 1 ampere here, the current ampere will be same only, but the flow of it will be reduced, the rate of flow will be reduced. Actual magnitude will be same, the flow will be reduced because there is the actual addition of the resistance. There is the actual addition of the resistance. It is the case for the series. Okay, now we will see what will be the case for the parallel. Okay, here what is the series electrical connection? This have to consider only the series. In series, current will be same. Okay. Now in the parallel case, in this case the scenario is different. In series, it is having only one way to flow. Now in this case, the current having the three way. We are just connecting three resistors, so it is having the three parts. You can see the current can flow through this part also, this branch and this branch also. So it is having the three way to flow. Okay, it is having three way to flow. So the current will be different here. Okay, current will be different here, and the voltage across, if you are considering at point A and across point B, the voltage will be same. The voltage will be same across point A and across point B. Okay, it will be same across point A and across point B. So again we have to apply the Ohm's law. We will get the equivalent total resistance present in that circuit by applying Ohm's law. Ohm's law. What is Ohm's law? V is equal to IR. But in this case, what is same? Voltage will be same. V1 is equal to V2 is equal to V3 is equal to capital V, and the current is changing. So we have to find the current I is equal to V by R. Again applying Ohm's law, what we get? I1 is equal to V1 by R1 plus I2 is equal to V2 by R2, I3 is equal to V3 by R3. For combining this, what we get? I is equal to, again we are applying Ohm's law here, V by equivalent resistance. What we get? V1 by R1 plus V2 by R2 plus V3 by R3. Okay, clear? Now as we know, V1 is V2, V3 is equal to V. So what we can write? V is equal to R equivalent is equal to V by R1 plus V by R2 plus V by R3. So we will get cancelled by we get equivalent resistance. 1 by R equivalent is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. This will be the equivalent resistance for the parallel. Now in this case the resistance will be decreasing. If you are applying the resistance here, just consider we are taking the reciprocal. If you are taking the reciprocal of any number, it will be reduced. Okay, just consider the resistance. You are applying R1 as 2 ohms. After taking reciprocal, what will happen? 1 by 2 means 0.5. 0.5 ohms will be there. Okay. So in series the resistance is adding up, and in the parallel the resistance are connected in the stackwise manner, and then the resistance will be decreased. Resistance will be decreased. If you want to see the difference, you can calculate also. You can also calculate by using the equivalent resistance. You can see if I am taking the R1 is equal to 2 ohms, R3 and R2 is equal to 4 ohms, and R3 is equal to 6 ohms. Okay. Now in first case, if this resistance is connected in series, okay, what will be the equivalent resistance? It will be just addition of that 2 plus 4 plus 6 is equal to 12 ohm. Okay, it will be the case of series. Okay, in what will be the case of parallel? The parallel 1 by R equivalent is equal to 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 6. Okay, if I am taking the LCM, what will be the LCM? LCM will be 12. Here will be 6 plus 3 plus 1. What will that? 10 by 12. It will be 5 by 6. It will be 0.7. Something will be the resistance. So you can see that in series the resistance is adding up. The resistance is combinedly joined, and in the case of parallel, it is coming the reciprocal. We are applying 2, 4 and 6. We are just getting how much? 0.7 ohms. This is the difference between the series connection and parallel connection. In parallel, the resistance will be decreased, and in series, the resistance is getting adding. Okay, clear? This is all about the combination of the resistor. Clear? If you want to again understand the difference, you can take any numbers and just apply the equation. Which are the equation resistance for the series? R equal is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3, and for series R equivalent just take the reciprocal 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. If you can take any values, you can just get the difference. Okay, clear?